First of all, congrats on your first NBA win as a head coach.
Thank you.
Just a good win against a good team. What made the difference for you guys?
Really, it was a really good team effort. I credit the guys for coming out ready to play. We didn't have any big, huge lulls during the game. When we did go down a little bit, we came back with the same efficient energy. And we had it's a team effort, team win. 7 guys in double figures. That's a great win for us. We can get a lot of guys involved there when they came in, contributed well. I'm just pleased about the win. I'm pleased about our effort tonight, especially coming off the last game. Just to come back strong the way we did against a team as good as this one, it speaks a lot of our character.
What was it like just having every player available for the first time this season?
Good. It's something we haven't had up until now, but it's obviously for me, it's a stressful time because I was kind of thrown in last minute for this and then just trying to figure things out on the fly. But it's good just to know that we have so many weapons and so many people who can contribute. I mean, you look at even our bench scoring 15, 11, 11, 6, 18. I mean, that's a pretty powerful bench. I think that's something we envisioned at the beginning of the season, and just see it beginning to come to fruition is a beautiful thing.
Speaking of that, Coach, just getting Denny and Aaron and those guys kind of in at the end there, what were you, I guess, pleased about with the group that was on the court, or what were you kind of trying to figure out in keeping Denny out?
It's always going to be a delicate balance. And if I could sit in here, Denny played a lot, you'd ask me about another player. And that's just the way it is because we're so strong across the board. And, as we're flowing and things are going well. So we just continue to keep things going well. I mean, and that's nothing against Denny. Denny's always a hard worker. He's an amazing person. I love Denny to death. That's my guy. And we'll just continue to just do what works best for the team and try to figure things out. As just alluded to, this is our first time really getting everybody together again. So now it's about us finding that perfect chemistry that's going to work for us moving forward.
And it looked like there was a lot of purpose behind everything. The last game, Pat talked about wasted possessions. It looked like there was almost none of that this game. What was the big difference?
Well, we still had a couple. The thing is, I'm always going to be the person that's like, how can we get better to play the next game? We have another tough one coming up, by the way. So, but it was just, honestly, I give much credit to our players. They came ready to play today, and the energy brought forth was super amazing. And it felt like we always came with that. We give a punch, we take a punch, and we were ready to give one right back. And that's a credit to them. And I'm just pleased with what happened today. That's for sure.
Philly is one of those teams that kind of gets players hot, I guess. How big was Trez getting to the line late in the game?
Well, Trez is the energy guy. We all know that. And so when he can get those type of plays and get those type of actions and just get the crowd riled up, I think he does a good job also for the team. They see him out there and it's hard not to. I mean, let's be honest. I think anyone in this room, you see Trez do some of the things he does and your heart starts to race a little bit faster too because of the energy and heart that he puts into it. So when he comes in and does things like that, it's super big for the team for sure. And honestly, you put him out there with like I said before, MVP caliber player like Joelle, and you see him do some of those things, and now you get even more excited.
What did you think of Brad's performance in his first game back?
I'm totally pleased with Brad. I think that I think the numbers don't do justice what he brought to the game, because even when he's not making baskets or giving those assists, he still draws the attention of the defense in an unbelievable way. It's very noticeable if you ever see him with the ball, how much everything shifts in his direction. And for him to handle that type of pressure and make the right play, make the right passes, play unselfishly, Brad's an all-star player, and he's an all-star person, quite frankly, as well. And I think that shows in his style of play.
And what did you think of Rui's performance? His fifth game back, he scored in double figures.
Yeah, I'm happy with Rui. I think he can still get better. He's becoming more and more comfortable on the floor. I think he'll continue to do so, especially just when he catches up even more with the speed of the game right now. And we all see it. He's becoming more comfortable every time he's out there, and that's what we want for him. So I'm super pleased with him. There's nobody that I can say that I want to yell at tomorrow. So if anything, I owe them all a cupcake or something.
JB, defensively, what stood out in terms of your team's approach and and want to today?
It's interesting because you look at the stat sheet and you see Joelle had 32 points, but the effort to put forth on him, I think that was a big thing. It was a team effort. You know, a lot of times, a lot of teams will get caught up in the me against him. And I think tonight was the thing we understood it was us against them. And we had to do what we needed to do, whether whoever was needed to come down and double was there to do it, and who needed to scramble did it. And it wasn't about who was the person, but who was the next up, who was the next rotation, and just doing the things we needed for the team. And just it comes down to effort and just grit, right?
What was your rationale about going with TB after, I guess it was Daniel's third foul? Was it to get Embiid further from the basket, given TB's perimeter shooting capability, or?
You're saying instead of Trez? I'm guessing you're asking me.
That's correct.
Honestly, yeah. I'll to be quite honest, I went to talk to Trez to get him in, and Trez said, "You go with TB." It was as simple as that. I think Trez felt that it was a good matchup for TB, and you know that's what good teammates do, quite frankly. And he did a good job of it, and it changed the complexity of the game, quite frankly. So, as much as I would love to say it was my unbelievable coaching prowess, I have to say I actually just listened to the players.
How rare is that for anyone?
I don't know. I don't always. I'm very little times do I have control over that up until today. So.
What was it like for you, just big experience, but just getting back on that kind of
I'm trying to think of the best word to articulate it, and I don't think there is one. Some feelings, words don't do justice, and I think today was one for me. The honor of the experience, and then afterwards falling into the comfort of being there, because I did that in the G League. You get kind of consumed in the game at a certain point, and you no longer care where you're at. You're just doing what you need to do to get the team moving forward, whether it's when I'm standing up as the head coach or if I'm sitting on the bench as an assistant coach. The job is still the same. You find a way to help the team as much as possible. Obviously, initially, it's quite daunting. You walk out there, and it's my first NBA game. I'm not, like I said, I don't have the words to articulate it. I just, to God be the glory. Amen.
Did they drench you in the locker room?
They got Trez dumped a nice thing of ice water on top of me, so it was. My back is pretty soaked right now. Big ups to Brandon Mango for giving me another shirt to put on right now.
You mentioned Thomas Bryant. This was only his third game back. He played really well. How much did you work with him during his rehab, and what was it like to see him have a game like this tonight?
I initially, before the season started in preseason, I got much more one-on-one time with TB. And, I love TB. He's a good guy. He works hard. He's willing to do what you ask him to do. And, he's, anyone that's ever worked out with me will tell you I like to talk a lot of crap when we're working out and get physical and just be all crazy on the court a lot. And he responded so well to everything I ever did with him. And he continues to do so. And anyone who knows TB is a guy that plays with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of hustle, a lot of heart. So it's great to see him have the success today and on the court, and just great to have him back on the court. I don't know if I've even talked to him about this, but I remember back when he was South Bay Lakers in the G League, and I've kind of watched his development since then and seen him grow so much as a player. Not known up until this year, I'm still very proud of the person and the player he's become. So,
and I have to ask you about Kyle Kuzma's dunk on Joelle Embiid. What are your thoughts on that play?
That's pretty amazing, right? Yeah, that's pretty darn amazing. That's about all I can say. It's spectacular. I hope he gets him on some Sports Center top 10 or something for that. That was, let's say Sports Center top 5. Come on.
Coach, as somebody who works at times with big men, what do you tell Gaff to do against a guy like him?
It's difficult because Joel's a supremely crafty individual. Coaching in Philly, I've been around him a lot and watched how he's done what he did to Gaff to a lot of people, just getting people in foul trouble. And he's really crafty about doing it. You just got to do your work early and don't get frustrated. That's one thing that Joelle thrives off, the frustration of his adversaries. So, But, it is what it is, I don't think Gaff did terrible. I think that it's just, the nature of the game. And Joel's really good at what he does.
Neil?
Hey, Coach, is the decision to not play Denny something that you guys talk about before, maybe in practice, or is that something you come up with live?
I think it's a little bit of mix of everything. We're just trying to figure out how things go and how things flow. And as alluded to earlier, we have a lot of people out there right now. So just trying to find the right mixture and blend and give people opportunities that need to get a little bit more court time as well. And it's really hard when you have a guy that hasn't played much, like a Rui or a TB, for example, and they're finally getting in the flow and you're playing well. You don't really want to pull them out and not let them get more of a flow in which they already have. So it's just simple as that. I think, if anything, you guys make more out of it than we do, or even Denny makes out of it, quite frankly.
Christos?
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win, the performance as well. That performance, that 48-minute effort on both ends of the floor, but especially on defensive effort, what it speaks, what does it mean for the potential and for the quality of that group?
As someone who's never really satisfied, I feel that we can still get better. But I think we showed some strong glimpses of who we can be defensively tonight. There's still obviously some things we need to clean up, or we can't clean up. And I think we can say that after every single game we ever play. But I'm super happy with it. If anything, I'm almost, I don't want to say I'm over the elation of the win, but I am, because I'm already looking forward to the next game, and want to make sure we can maintain this type of attitude, this type of energy, this type of character moving into the next game.
Thank you very much. Keep up.
Thank you.
Wayne?
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. You can say the energy kind of started out the gate with you when you had, fist bumping and chest bumping the players. As a coach, when you get that type of energy going, what does that say about the team?
I don't know. I'm a little bit crazy, so that's just what I do, bro. But honestly, that's what I did before the game. I do that for every single game, and I'm not going to change my approach to the game, whether I'm sitting down or standing up. And that's like I feel, quite frankly, with this team, I have a connection, an individual connection with each one of these guys on the court and each one of these guys on the team. And I have an individual relationship, and part of that is that thing I do before the game, and that's not going to change. And I'm always the guy yelling and screaming for every game. I think any of you who've ever been to one of the practices or been around me after the game, before the game, can attest to the fact that I'm usually the loudest person in the room already. So I'm always going to be trying to pull that energy and push that energy forward. And what I don't get from them, I'll try to be my own energy factory, as you say, my own power source for everyone around me as much as possible.
And lastly, Coach, when you have TB, Trez, and Gafford all clicking on centers like that, what's the limit for these guys?
Is that a 1 through 10 question? I don't know. I mean, it remains to be seen. I'm hoping there is no limit. I'm hoping we can just continue to thrive in this situation. I think it's easy for me to sit back after a win, and you're going to ask me that, and I can say, "Oh, sky's the limit. We're going to be amazing." But in the end, we're still growing. The seasons, I know we're halfway through, but as a team, we're still pretty infantile because we haven't had a full roster yet. So it still remains to be seen how great we can be, and I'm excited about it. Today's game gets me more excited about our potential, excited about the possibilities. So hopefully we can just keep riding this wave into another victory.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Last question to Penny.
Hey, Coach. My question is about Denny and Davis. We saw Denny sitting out today, and the fact that he played every game since the season began has a part of it. And also about Davis, we haven't seen him participate in the last 2.5 minutes. Is there a reason?
Was those statements or questions? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what the question is? What was
The question is, why did Denny was out of the rotation today? Denny and Davis, and also why Davis didn't play in the last 2.5 minutes.
Well, first of all, the Denny question I already answered. The DB question is, Davis is really just coming back from being out, and I didn't think it was, after him sitting for a while, I didn't think it was the wisest thing to do to try to throw him in there at the end of the game.
Thanks, Coach.
That's it, JB. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. God bless everyone.
This was obviously a very good win for you guys. What was the difference?
Man, this was one of our better wins of the season. It felt great, to not lose or be in close games. And this is probably our first blowout win since maybe Memphis, maybe. So, it's always great. Anytime you can play a game and get everybody in, reserves, everyone that works hard every single day, that you may not know or doesn't get as many minutes as they want, they come in and play. That's a great sign. So
yeah, you kind of allude to it. This first game where you guys have had everyone available and you see both Thomas and Rui play their best games yet. Just what was it like being part of this rotation as it was designed to be?
Well, one can't get ahead of ourselves, first of all, but at the same time, I think it was great. Rui's best game since he came back. TB, obviously, those guys having minute restrictions and whatnot, but for them to come in, I know they've been itching all year to play basketball, and especially TB. You see what type of energy he brings every day, every night, and Rui looked phenomenal. Did a great job, real poise. Took the shots where when it was there, he took them, and play well, play great defense too.
How would you describe the ball movement out there, and why do you think it looked as good as it did?
Oh, no clue.
Really?
No clue, honestly. We'll see next game, but tonight it looked good though, for sure.
Was there anything here today, aside from obviously winning and hitting shots and going wire to wire, that you guys can take forward to the next game?
We did a great job defensively. That's what you want to take. You want to take a lot of things. You want to take the ball movement. You want to take player movement, everything. But I think the number one thing is if we can, just build off what we did defensively tonight, it'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Tobias Harris, 3 for 11. Kormaz 3 for 10. Those guys. That's even Joelle. He had a hell of a game, 32, but he had to work for some things. And, that's all you can ask for. So, if we could just build on what we did defensively, I'll be happy.
How gratifying is it to get the win when Joseph Blair is coaching his first NBA game?
Oh, that's big time, man. He has a hell of a story. He was a Harlem Globetrotter and just coached his first NBA game, got a win. That's phenomenal. So I'm definitely happy for him.
What'd you make of your dunk?
I owed him actually because my rookie year I tried to dunk on him and it didn't go so well. And he came up to me after. I told him that, but he told me if I did that again, he'll punch me in the face. So, I owed him for sure.
You had that also behind the back pass to Brad. How do you feel like your no look passing has developed throughout the season?
I wouldn't say no look. I would just say playmaking in a whole. I feel like I can do everything on the court. Pass, rebound, defend, shoot, attack the rim, whatever. And I just saw him at the corner of my eye. It was really about to be a terrible play because I should have hit somebody earlier and I got it tipped, but thankfully got it back. And, I just saw him. So, it was great.
You guys are on your third head coach because of the COVID protocols. Like, what impact does that have on the players? Just kind of last minute things like that.
It does a bunch of different things because you just like as a player, you don't know who you may play with, day to day. But, now it's the same thing with coaches. We're on our third coach, but JB, Joseph Blair, he did a hell of a job tonight. Thought he had a lot of great poise. Did a good job executing X's and O's. And, had good composure out there. So we did a hell of a job. Obviously, it's the next man up mentality from a player-to-player standpoint, but in this day and age, it's coaches too. So, kudos to the staff.
How infectious was JV's energy?
He comes in every day. Losing streak, win streak, whatever. He's always animated. He's always screaming, getting hype, and you need that. Especially in the NBA season, because a lot of guys have a lot of energy, but sometimes that depends on outcomes and results. And for JB, he does a great job because it doesn't matter. The saying, keep that same energy, he really does. So, it's great for us.
One more question about the dunk. Given the player it came against him, he's one of the biggest and best rim protectors in the league. Do you think that's one that you'll remember for a long time?
Yeah. I don't really dunk on people too often. So, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Kuz, we'll go to Zoom for a couple questions, and we'll start with Scott.
What's going on, Kuz? I know this win probably feels awfully nice, and this is such an important day across our country, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. How special is it to play, from a player's perspective, to play on this day and what this man stood for and the impact he had across our country?
Well, I don't know about playing, but, I think this is a very, very important day in history. Obviously, when you talk about Martin Luther, a phenomenal man, father, and somebody that lived life with purpose. And I think today that's the number one message, living with purpose, especially in this day and age. As kids, it's hard to find, okay, what am I here for? What am I on earth for? And this is a guy that is a great pillar in our society, and, not in our society, but, the whole thing. And just leading with purpose, doing something, that's very, very impactful, that changed course of history, but also inspired people. And, I think that's what this day should be about. Obviously you got the civil rights, you have African-American, certain things that, go along with this day, but, impacting lives and doing things with purpose. I think that's what this day stands for. So.
Thanks, Kuz.
All right. We got time for a couple more. Neil.
Hey, Kuz. This is the first game in Denny's career where he was out of the rotation. I know you guys have, a bit of a relationship playing one-on-one and stuff. Do you say anything to him to try and reassure him, or do you kind of just let him be?
Yeah, for sure. I told him after the game, man, you just got to stay with the process. A lot of times in this NBA, you may not play, you might, and especially in this league, everybody is good. So, it's never a down thing. Obviously you want to be out there, you want to be competitive, you want to play every single minute you can, but, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. He's a smart kid. He's probably going to the gym right now to work out. So, that's the type of kid he is. So it's all about staying with the process because, especially in this league, and as you guys seen this year, a lot of times when you're a backup, you're one injury away or one false test away from starting or one false test away from being in a rotation. So it's all about just being ready, being professional, and just staying the course.
And on your dunk again, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the replay or look at any of the pictures. Did that take you back anymore? And you're like, oh man, that was even nastier than I thought, or?
I did look at it. It wasn't that nasty, honestly. I dunked on him, but it wasn't that spectacular. I'm half white, so I didn't really get up that high. And I just glad I got there. So
appreciate it, Kuz.
Yeah, no problem.
Look bad, Kuz. That's messed up.
That's cards were dealt.
tweeting that? Tweet that.
You think we should?
I'm the only one who's allowed to tweet it. None of you are allowed to tweet that.
I'm not. I saw
Hey, he referred to the hash that I'm allowed to
That's true. That's right. There we go. I can jump fine. I can jump fine. Yeah.
You can reach the back.
Oh, obviously.
I didn't. When Neil said the lights get there.
Yeah.
Neil ran on that. I was like, I can't do
That's
that.
Not even in close.
I know you.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Hey, TB.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Great to hear. We'll start with in-person questions whenever you're ready.
Elements your team can take forward from this and use to build the future?
Well, we just gotta look at the positives of the game right now. We let one slip away from us, but coming back, I loved our resiliency and how we responded to this game, especially against a great team that's Philly.
When you were asked there to go in the first quarter, were you surprised at all that we were told Montrezl is going to check in, and then he said, no, GB should go instead of that? What did you see on that?
For me, I just try to be ready at all times, no matter when. I know the last couple games I haven't been going in the start of the first or the second like that, so I just try to be ready as many times as possible. Just try to keep my mind ready, my body ready for whenever my name is called.
Did you hear Trez say that?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. I was just trying to wrap my mind around the game and try to stay focused and locked in.
And then can you do a roast duck noodle soup with wontons?
Wow.
What you ordering?
Yeah.
That sounds fire.
What were your own expectations for your return? Did you want to even kind of set those parameters for yourself?
Well, my expectations were just to come back and just play the game of basketball that I knew, just try to bring the grit and the grind and the energy to this team that I feel like we needed. And that's what I took my whole approach on. And luckily it went my way today.
Your third game back, your best game statistically so far. Did it feel like a breakthrough? Did you feel more comfortable tonight than you did last week?
I felt comfortable all 3 games, really. I think it was just a little bit of increase in playing time right there. Just getting adapted with the team and just trying to build more chemistry out there on the floor with game time. And, it just felt good to be out there.
You did that test too against Embiid. What does that do for just getting back to the flow of things to go against the count again with that?
Man, you get put in the fire quickly. You had a real good big like that, very skilled. You just try to make it as difficult as possible for him. Nothing easy for him. And my teammates really helped me out on the defensive end as well. So I appreciate those guys out there.
You guys had a huge advantage in the bench scoring. Obviously, this was the first game you guys had everyone available for both seasons. What was like being part of the bench?
Man, it felt great just to bring that energy off what those starters were doing out there. We just try to, maintain or increase the league or anything that we can do to help this team win out there. It doesn't matter if we're coming off the bench or if we're starting. We all have the same mentality going out there, and that's to help each other win, praise each other, go out there, get stops, and score on the other end.
Obviously, a huge energy guy on the bench. Coach Blair was saying that when you guys worked out kind of before the season, you really responded to his energy that we've all seen. What can you kind of tell us about working with him and what he adds to the Wizards?
Man, Coach JB always brings it. He always has that energy day in and day out, and I love it. I love it. I feel like we need people like that. We need coaches like that. That's always going to, you know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get that love, that passion, that energy, and he's never going to change. And that's a great thing about Coach.
You just mentioned earlier that you didn't know that Trez told Coach to put you in. What does that mean to you? What does it say about the confidence of your team?
Hey, it says a lot about the confidence. And, me and Trez we've known each other for years. We have the same workout person at Rico High. So we've had endless battles, and we still continue to have endless battles. And, we always push each other to do our best, to the best that we can. So just to hear that, it means a lot to me.
Does that happen often when players may have some input in
Those special situations.
Is there something different about being a guy's teammate versus when you worked out with him?
Well, yeah, I don't gotta go against him as much. That's that's the best thing about it. But just just from us playing with each other, we know what we like to do. I know what he likes to do. He know what I likes to do, and we try and build as much as we can out there from what we do in the summer and try and translate it into what we do now with the Wizards.
What do you think about the way Rui played tonight? Like this is also his best game.
Man, Rui's been playing great, man. I think
people scrutinize him too much, a little bit too hard on him. But he's such a great player. He's so dynamic. He can score from down low to making jump shots, as we've seen tonight. Defends multiple positions. He's an endless talent out there for us, and it feels good to see him out there doing his thing and getting the recognition that he deserves.
Christos?
Hey, Thomas, great game. First of all, great win. For you, how important is to be back on the floor and be so productive on both ends of the floor?
Just being out there just really helps. And, I'm just locked in a lot, especially on the film wise. I take film very seriously. I take the preparation very seriously. So for us to go out there and get this win and, for me to be out there and just try and make a change on the offensive and defensive end, it means a lot to me that you can see that progression go forward.
Thank you very much.
Neil?
Hey, TV, we know that, on the sideline, you're everybody's biggest cheerleader. On Kuzma's dunk, you were, slapping the towel. What'd you think of Kuzma's dunk, and what was your reaction to it?
Man, it was big time. Yeah, I thought he was going to kick it to the corner, but he went in for the dunk, and that really surprised me. And, with him getting that dunk, it just raises the level, the energy, the passion for everyone out there on the court and on the bench. So, me, I love when my teammates do something great like that, and I just had to give a full praise to them.
Thanks, TB.
Last question to Wayne.
Hey, TB. Just wanted to know, you coming in and you haven't missed a beat. How did you develop that mental toughness away from the game and then seamlessly transition to having such an effective role on the floor?
Well, you have to build that mental toughness, especially going through this ACL injury. A lot of times it's a lot of up and downs, and at first it's a lot of downs. So you have to be mentally tough, and you have to translate that into the game, especially trying to be incorporated back into the game with a team that's been playing and, having their groove throughout the long time that I haven't been there. So for me, it started early when I first got the injury to trying to focus on my mental toughness, and it helps.
And lastly, TB, how cool does it feel to have your team back? And then with this small sample size, just everybody gelling, what does that let you know about the continuity of the team?
It means that we can even get better than we already are, man. Like I said before, the amount of talent that we have on this team is endless, from guys that can guard multiple different positions, and we can attack so many defensive coverages because we have so many dynamic players out there. So for us to gel and especially get this win tonight against this great 76ers team, it means a lot to us going forward. We just got to build and keep building those great habits that we have.
Thank you, TB.
Thank you.
That's it, TB. Thank you. Appreciate your time. We'll start with in person whenever you're ready.
Coach said that you were the one, when he went to sub you in for Gaff at the beginning of the game, that you suggested you put Thomas in first. Why did you do that?
I kind of seen the floor of the game and seeing how Embiid was starting out the game early on. Seeing that he was more so, trying to get guys in foul trouble, and kind of being able to try to impose his will a little bit earlier in the post-up spot. So I told coach to just go with TB and Gaff early on because Gaff got in the early foul trouble, 2 and 3 in the first half. I just wanted to keep TB with him because at the point in time, TB pops a little bit more than me. So it was about spacing the floor on the offense end of the floor and just being able to keep him honest on the defensive end because TB, like I said, TB is able to, shoot the three and he's been shooting the three longer than me a little bit more consistently. So it's just a smarter play for the team. That's all it was about. It wasn't about anything else but, the play for the team and what was going to be the right sub at that point in time.
Did you play with Coach in G League at all?
Yeah, that was my big man coach down when I was in when I first got drafted to Houston. That's my first 2 years down at RGV. So me and JB got a great relationship. I've known him for years, and I always kept up with him throughout social media. We follow each other on Instagram, and just he's a great person, man. He's a great guy to be around. He comes in with the same energy, positive every day, man. And you can't help but just attract and be connected to people like that. So I'm blessed to be able to know him, and blessed to be a part of his first win as a NBA head coach.
You guys, how much do you enjoy dousing in the water afterwards?
For sure. Game 4, ice bath, shower after the game, man. And like I said, it's just big because, like I said, man, JB has been together for a while, man. Like I said, I wasn't there when he was able to win it in RGV and horse the championship up down there. But he knows my grind, and I know his as well. As far as us being in this league and where we are today, and it's a complete blessing. So for sure, just had to express that love and just complete just overall happiness I am for him, man, for him just be able to be in that position and get a big time win versus a team like the Sixers. And it's also a team that he actually was on the assistant coaching as well. A lot of people don't know that as well. So that's a real big night for him.
When you make a move to suggest Thomas Bryant, is that something you've done before, or was that just you the moment?
No, it's not really something that I've done before, but honestly, it's come with the experience of the league and actually just being in the league and knowing the roles of the game, really, man. Like I said, I've been in this position before last year, which is not really, to the extent to where I am this year. But the thing about it is, I've learned how to handle it, honestly. And, my voice is a little bit more, bigger in this locker room than where I was the previous year. So for a coach to be able to listen to me and, take that into accountability and run with it, and it played out great for us tonight, man. It's just, goes to show you that, I know a little bit what I'm talking about with this game, and, I could do it with, the best of the best, just like everybody else, just the same respect. Simple as that. But no, it's not something that I've been accustomed to doing because I love playing. Who doesn't love playing? Who doesn't love competing? But it's not about me. It's about, the overall factor of our team. So.
This was the first game that you guys had everyone available, and you guys outscored their bench by quite a bit. What was it like being part of the second unit? Everyone's back. You guys have that full thing.
It was just fun, man. As you've seen, a lot of guys came into the game and contributed tonight, man. It was just fun to be able to just be out there and play freely and just flow and just let things happen. I don't think anybody was out there searching for anything. I don't think nobody was out there just, looking for, how they're playing. We was just out there playing free basketball, and whoever was open or whoever made the right cut, the right play, that's who we reward with the ball. As far as on the defensive end, we had a game plan of what we wanted to do coming into the game, and we did it to the highest of, our ability. JB said before the game coming in, and he was right. He didn't expect nobody to go out there and be perfect because, we didn't expect him to be perfect, but at the same time, he expected us to have perfect effort. You can't coach effort, so he expected us to have great effort and play with the right mindset and to play with the right energy, and that's what we did tonight. Came out with a big win.
You guys held Tobias Harris to 7 points. He's given this team a lot of trouble over the past few years. What was the key to kind of making sure he didn't beat you?
Honestly, it was not only just about him, but it was about a lot of those guys that have there. Maxey, him, Cork Miles. We wanted to make sure those guys didn't come in here and have another big game as they did the first time they came in here. We know what Embiid was going to try to do. We know he was going to post up and, he's going to get his foul calls and he's going to get the shots that he's going to get. We're not, it's nothing new to us. But at the same time, we knew that the other guys is really the reason that they really came out and won that game because, Tobias had 20-plus last game. Maxey had 16 or plus that game, man. And Cork Miles had a big game as well, So we let all the other factors around it come in the game and hurt us and become a big factor to what went forth for them winning the game. So we just want to make sure we come in here and we take them out of that and make sure that, they didn't come in here and have another big night and, go off to them winning a huge game tonight.
What were some things that you might have learned from JB when you were playing with the Vipers that was especially impactful in your development?
Everything, man. As far as the will to work in the league, man. He wasn't, like I said, he wasn't a head coach when I was down there. He was basically like the bigs coach, basically just coaching the bigs on, post catcher, different things like that, man. So just look at his caliber of work, how he's came from, being in that position to a head position down there to going on being with the Sixers and to, up here with us and to the point where he was in his head coaching spot in the midst of finding out before the game, man. And he went out there and he relished in the moment, man. And he went out there and led us to a great game plan and ultimately ended up winning the game for us, man. But just, in general. I connect to JB, man, just because our paths are kind of the same as that way, man. Just having to grind and work and, bust our tails to be able to get to the position that we're at. And it's a complete blessing, man. So, just hats off to him. And like I said, I'm extremely proud for him, man, just for him to, come out here and coach the way he coached, man. And like I said, he came in with a big win versus a team that he not only worked for, but like I said, it's his first time ever been in this position, man. So that's big. You got to relish in those type of things, man, because you never know when it's going to be his turn to actually be sitting in that seat, full time.
Neil?
Hey, Trez. Not sure if you've had the chance to play on MLK Day in the past. Obviously, the Wizards do a lot. You had the warm-up shirts and everything. What did it mean to you to be able to play on this day?
It's a complete honor for sure to be able to play on this day and just being able to really stand out there and, be unified as to, all the things that Martin Luther King kind of tried to stand for. And, just not only for one color, he wanted equality for everybody in the world, man. And that's big. But the thing about it is it just kind of sucks because at the same time, I don't, want the game that we played today to kind of just be a distraction. We're still dealing with a lot of the things that Martin Luther King was fighting for, years and years even before we was here, man. So it just goes to show you, man, it hasn't, completely come to, the stand that he really wanted to happen, man. Look at all the police brutality and everything that we're still going through, and people still losing their lives just off nonsense, man. So at the same time, it's a great honor, but at the same time, we still have yet to really live out his message and what he really wanted us to do as people in this world.
Thanks, Trez.
Last question to Christos.
Hey, Trez, hope you're doing well. Great game, great win, first of all. For you guys to see Kuz bring so much intensity on both ends, be so impactful on both ends, and having that consistency, what does it mean for the whole team?
Like I said, honestly, I don't really think it's more so about, one player, but he stepped up his game a tremendous deal in this past couple of months, man. He's worked his tail off and just coming in and relishing the moment of, all the different ups and downs that we're having throughout the season. I think he understands the position that he's in, and he's just taking full advantage of it. At the end of the day, we know what he brings to the floor on both ends of the floor. And, like I said, we're all going to do it as a collective group. It's not really just about one specific player or about, how well one guy is doing. We're going to have to do it together as a group. But like I said, the things that he brings to the game and the way that he plays is definitely one of those contagious type things when he's flying all around and, getting multiple defensive and offensive rebounds, and then he's hit some tough shots, man. So it's big. But at the same time, like I said, we're doing it in a collective group. And I think the biggest thing that you could take away from definitely how we played tonight is that we didn't really care, who was on the, receiving end of all the things that was kind of going well for us, really.
Thank you very much. Keep up.
That's it, Trez. Appreciate your time.